Hi everybody, welcome to another roundtable discussion. Whether you are a current condominium owner or thinking of purchasing a condominium, this show can be valuable to you. Today we have one of our realtors with us, Vic Webb, who has also been a licensed CAM for 7 years. Vic, can you tell the audience what is a CAM and a brief synopsis of a CAM's responsibility to a condominium association?
Harry, a CAM is a community association manager. They manage either a condo complex or a homeowners association.
Vic, I had an experience before where a customer of mine, we were on property at a condominium project, and the homeowners association representative was just rude, and it turned my customer off. So how do you feel, what's most important about good customer service from the employees, and especially homeowners associations?
Corey, there's an old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. When those potential buyers walk in, they may love the complex and hate the general manager or the general manager's staff, and that's going to put a bad taste in the mouth from then on. General managers and their staff are as different as individuals are. Some are very forthcoming. They present a good face. They let you know that they're very personable. Sometimes they don't. It's just a gut feeling those owners have to have.
Vic, we know it's important for a condo buyer to review the condominium association's budget and reserve account. Is there something particular a buyer should look for? Is there a magic formula to determine whether an association is solvent?
You have to look at the age of the complex. You have to look to see if the reserves are fully funded. If they're not fully funded, you probably want to take a look at the last reserve study that was done. In essence, what has to happen is the potential buyer has to do their due diligence like any other real estate purchase or any financial situation they're in. They need to go out and do the research. It's up to the general manager of the complex or your realtor to ask for that information and get it to the potential buyers.
Vic, I have a question for you. I've heard that an association or HOA can prevent an owner or renter from using the common areas if they're not up to date on their association fees.
Each association is different. Some press this issue a little bit more than others. Typically what happens is when somebody is behind in their association dues, the first month or so they just get nasty letters from the association office. But by law they can restrict some of the use of the common use areas like swimming pools, workout areas, spas, things like that. Things that associations can or cannot restrict are like cable TV. By law they can't cut off utilities. Whether cable TV is a utility or a necessary utility is kind of a gray area right now. But typically they will, if somebody is really late in their dues, they will start sending them letters saying they can't use the common use areas anymore until they catch up.
Hi Vic, I have a quick question. I had a customer of mine forget to pay one of their quarterly HOA dues in a condo complex. He had a long-term renter in the unit that was served notice to pay their rent directly to the HOA because the owner failed to pay. Do you come across that often? And is it Florida law that an HOA is allowed to collect any dues owed from long or short-term guests?
Rocky, this is true. Homeowners associations do have the ability to go after tenants to require them to pay the rent directly to the association. This usually gets to be a fight between the owner of the condo and the homeowners association and the renter. So you got three parties involved, which is usually not a good idea. But they do have that ability to go after, and that's just one of the ways that the association can leverage the owner to make sure they pay their association dues.
Vic, I have a very, very, very important question, not only to me, but to potential condo owners. Their concern is, what about the other owners that aren't paying their association fees? How would that affect them?
And a good question for the potential buyers to ask, or for you to ask from the homeowners association, is a list of how many condo owners in that particular complex are behind in their association dues. They can't give you specific information about the owners' names and how much they are behind, but they can give you a list of how many units are behind in their dues and what the total amount they're behind is. That way it gives you a good idea of the financial condition of the complex and the accounts receivable.
Vic, I have a question. What would you say does the next 5 years look like along the coast here in regard to condo sales or future developments? I know it's a hard question to answer, but people are constantly asking me that question, so I just thought I'd put you on the spot as well.
Gee, thanks, Harry. We think the condo market is moving up. We know there's a couple of major complexes that are adding additional towers. And I was in Orange Beach last week. There's 2 complexes going up over there right now. That's a good sign. That means the banks have eased up on some of the money. Some of these developers are able to get the money to start putting pilings down, and they're going up with the condos. The market has turned. Things are looking up here in Panama City Beach. Condos are turning over. Some that have been on the market for a couple of years have sold lately. So that's a good sign. We're looking for small upticks in the prices. We don't want to see any more of these, because when you get these, you get these. Just like the stock market, we want the prices to move up slowly, 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 and that will help the market here in Panama City Beach and the whole Gulf Coast, we believe.
Well, Vic, I appreciate you taking your time from your busy schedule to try and help and maybe educate some of the viewing audience out there. If we can help just a few folks, then this discussion's well worth it. And once again, thanks for watching the show.